text, I can tell because it's darker blue, and then I hit it and it says switch to SSM or whatever, and then it will go. Right. And then every once in a while they do this where when I hit it, it will they block it from doing that. You just go, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah, it doesn't have any meaning. It's like I explained. It's a containment as God kills them because clearly everyone's getting cancer. It's the Passover. So you just wait for them to die. So, anyways, I know just it's sort of like an intrusive wacko, like the guy with the walker that kept walking in front of me. And then eventually he just flipped out and started calling me a cunt and a douchebag. That's them online. And they probably scream at a computer screen that I'm a cunt and a douchebag. It's that sad. All of it. The Royal Caribbean app, my text phone shutting off my phone service, telling me my storage is low. I actually got a text from someone claiming they were from my storage, making sure everything's all right. I know you just go, I think some of it has to do with the doctrine where they keep making up, and they've been doing this since I met Brian, by the way, where they keep making up that I'm on a walkabout and Brian is a figure from my past. Because when the brain starts to die, it literally believes in concepts like that. Yeah, just like everyone's in a constant dream state. Everyone's because you're disassociated. It has to do with brain death. Like you see a light and stuff. Yeah, it has to do like people probably generally didn't get like that until they were about to die in nursing homes, right? Just how long would a person have to stay doing this to me before you realize that it's a person doing it that's mentally insane, not he's a hologram of someone from my past? Yeah, just I'm kind of convinced it about the storage. It runs from sadistic insanity because of my liver, the glycogen storage, to they actually believe that. They've been doing that for years. They're deleting files on a computer and stuff. Like it's a complete madness. Yeah. And they're so grandiose and probably on some kind of drug like Adderall and meth because I've heard people tell me that have used it, what happens to you. It causes a complete insanity like that. People that are on LSD, people that go into a psychosis, like that guy, like people that um, slaughter people and dismember them and stuff, and then they tell you afterwards, like what was going on in their head, like that. That's what it is. And then we go in, and now we're triggering that memory, and you just go, what the fuck? You're not triggering any memories. Yeah, just everyone's on a walkabout because Barbara Ken started doing that. It's obviously supposed to happen, but you just go, oh my God, why did you ever tell me to tell these people about a walkabout? See how fucking insane they are? Everyone's on their walkabouts. Whoa. Because there has to be some reason for everything, but what they're told is the reason. There has to be some reason for it other than your brains are dying and it's a mass extinction, it's the Passover. You guys are going to transition into a different form of life and it's going to go back to an ecosystem here where only species that are in coordinates with nature in an ecosystem are going to stay in a kingdom for any amount of time. That's the God's honest truth, right? You won't accept that you have brain illness and that you're conceptualizing nonsense because your brain is sick and dying. Anyways, yeah, like clearly the stuff they're doing to me is because they're sadistically insane, but they're in like a persona and stuff that God has them in. So that's the preferred thing that they're doing is that they're doing this shit because they're triggering stuff. I just remember that therapist. Oh, for foreclosure? For foreclosure? What? No, God's explaining to you guys the strokes in your brain where the vessel closes on itself and the brain matter dies around it from the radiation because it's a mass extinction. And it's a compassionate way for Almighty God to extinct a species with their mental reasoning brain. Right. That's the compassionate way to have you guys slowly lose your mental faculties because you don't know what's going on. Like you're medically altered. Not, I'm on a walkabout. Brian Buchanan is someone from my past that abused me and I'm reconciling. No, I already did that through psychotherapy that I explained fully that God does with the running of the tapes. You go all the way back, regressing to nursing, nursing baby, and God does the psychotherapy. That's what he does for my species. You guys go to a psychotherapist. My species does it through the Almighty. Okay, so that's not what a walkabout is. Okay, that's not what a walkabout is. Nope. You're not constantly triggering all these upsetting things, and people are like, that's all just you're trying to mentally reason brain disease and what's why are people so mean and cruel and what's going on and why didn't everybody stop and join as one force and why didn't they stop using money and hurting people and burning fuel. Your brain is making up things, and then that's all that they can continue to be told and given medications keep them calm. God doesn't say anything confusing where I just don't get something. I still don't get it. I hear people on the train yesterday talking about somebody else. She just doesn't get it. That's what they say. There's nothing to get. Okay. There's nothing to. She still just doesn't get it. I don't even know what they were talking about. So if it was something actually, whatever, like you just go, there's nothing to get. Okay. Just, whoa. I got to order the lift soon. And you just go, okay, so now I'm not texting Candy. That's fine. Right. She's expecting me today. So yeah, I mean, this stuff with the blocking text messages, emails, shutting off my phone service, refusing to give me my internet data. I explained it to the guy that picked me up yesterday. I said, I apologize. I don't have internet on my phone. I ordered the lift from South Station. And he goes, oh, no, no, that's fine. Because he pulled right up, put his window down, and said, hi, Mary, like he knew it was me. I don't know if they have a picture of me. They probably do. Right. And that's why I knew enough. I was smart enough to order it at Salt Station ahead of time. Thank God you can do that. You just set up a time. So, because I don't know when they notify you, because when you're attached to internet, the app notifies you as the driver is actually coming. You know what the vehicle is. That's for safety. That's for safety. I don't worry about certain things anymore that I used to, where a deranged psychopath shows up like the fucking Ted Bundy and goes, oh, hi, Mary, I'm here for your ride, and then fucking kidnaps me and murders me. I don't really worry about that shit anymore because it's almighty. But clearly, the things that they're doing put people in danger and they do it purposely. They've done it to me over and over and over. And it's about opportunity, like a weird procedure. My Snap card was shut off. Somebody kicked me out. My money, they believe that initiates an attack. Get it? Yeah, because they're monkeys. That initiates an attack. It's never people talking. You know how you go, you seem paranoid. Like, you think that the whole world is like in a meeting and they're talking about how they're going to get you. No, that is paranoia. Okay. What I'm talking to you actually happens, and it has to do with being primates. And you have multiple videos of it. Those primates are not talking to each other. They can't even reason in their brains what they're doing. They see other primates moving towards a fig tree, so they do it. So that's what you're doing because of your brain disease. That is what I am telling you. So when the shit with Brian and people think everyone's out to get me, or I don't think the whole world could be, because you don't understand reality, all due respect, because it's frightening to you. They clearly believe that initiates an attack against me, and I'm sure they do it to others. It's not just me. Okay, where you go, all someone has to do is run a news story that Trump might do something with your Medicaid, and then people that are working for Mass Health start actually doing shit to your Medicaid without a law being passed. They were doing that for a while to try to get COVID checks. You just put a story out there that someone's going to give you more checks, and then you wait, and they think that's how you make public policy on Twitter and shit. So they'll shut off my Snap card, shut off my internet, all of that, shut off my phone, because and it has no meaning but to put me in danger and hope that somebody else kills me, because they don't have the means to do it and God won't let them do it. By the time this thing processes, I didn't even say what time I was going to have a Lyft pick me up. And by the time this processes the actual internet, I'll be long gone out of a car. Because I can get internet right outside the hotel, by the way, on that bench. I did it yesterday. So I can sit right there. I wasn't even, yeah, you have to have a code. So I don't know if they'll shut it off when I check out. Right, I'm sure I could sit in the lobby. I'll be like, I'm ordering a Lyft. Is the internet going to shut off when I check out? Okay, because I just obviously for safety, I need to know the driver's name, the photograph of the driver, and their car. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll just go down there and order it before I check out. That might be an idea, because then Lyft has the opportunity to show it to me. It takes 2 seconds to check out of a hotel. I would think once you hand those keys in, it nullifies the passcode. Or just they have their ways or whatever that I don't know, unless once you stay here you have the passcode to the internet. I don't know. That actually kind of makes more sense, but technology, I would think they could nullify it like Harvard does. Yeah, you can get free internet through Harvard when you're sitting at Smith Center, but you have to log in every time. Right. So it could be something like that that's like set up so that if you're not a paying guest, it doesn't actually connect. I don't know any, and it's kind of at this point where I don't need to know things, right? It's different than the other times. Yeah. His therapist already told me he didn't show up yesterday. He didn't ask for a telehealth, and he didn't show up to the office. So I'm sure he didn't forget that his therapist is every Wednesday at 1. I'm sure he didn't forget. He's supposed to have some kind of a phone call today about the housing. I don't know. I would think he keeps that appointment because he doesn't care about a therapist. Right. All he cares about is getting drugs. He can go to the emergency room and get drugs. He can go to Gavin and get drugs. He doesn't actually have to see a provider every month like he was doing. Right. They just want to keep a person like that medicated. It's not worth, you know how you go, how would they still get medication if they won't do a program? Because these people are psychotic. They have to be on medication that keeps them calm. They have to be. They're psychotic and they become violent and they're dangerous to your society. That's why, if you were wondering. I don't think they should have to give them Adderall, but it could have been something where if you don't give him Adderall, he's not going to keep going to you at all for any of the stuff. They had him on a shot, all of that stuff. It's been months and months and months since he's agreed to have that shot. That's how I knew too that all of it's bullshit when he starts talking about it hurts. He doesn't want to do it because you want to drink, and it makes you vomit all over the place having that shot. That's why you want to get high and you want to drink. That's why you don't like the shot. I don't care, not my problem. Once you realize a person is fake, so I don't even have like pity, compassion, and stuff for him anymore after the other night. All that shit he said to me, stone cold sober on your psych meds. Because I know it's true. I know it's true, what he said. Not I was mad, I'm just fucked up. That has nothing to do with why we don't have sex, we don't cuddle, you don't compliment me, you don't laugh at my jokes, you don't think I'm cute and funny, you insult me all the time, you don't like my personality, you don't like anything I want to talk about. That's how I know it's true. So your shit can't work on me anymore. Just like I told him. I told him all of that in about 2 minutes. All of this is an act. Okay. I looked him straight in the face and I said, "You just destroyed your marriage in 5 minutes, everything that just came out of your mouth. And I know it's true. That's what you actually think of me. And your acting isn't going to work on me. And I cannot bring you to my sisters. How am I going to bring you to my sisters with you in this condition? Because remember last year, he already fucking flipped out there and he would try to have her evicted from her fucking apartment because he's a nut job. So over and out, over and out. Sometimes when you're put under a tremendous amount of stress like that, your faculties actually come back, like your basic high level thinking. And that's why I said what I said, because it's God helps me and it's fucking true. It's exactly true what I said. And just couple it with I take out the phone, so I go, I guess I'm going to text my sister, because at first I didn't know what I was going to do that night about sleeping. He told me to find another place to sleep and was going to take off with all my sleeping gear. So of course I said I'm going to text my sister, right? And he goes, "You need to think about right now what you're doing, because you know tomorrow you're going to call me." That's what he always says. You know tomorrow you're going to call me, and I never do. I never call him tomorrow or the next day or the next day ever. Do I do that? It's been months and months and months and months since I reacted in that way. Right? It's just that's not going to work anymore, Brian. Right? That's not going to work anymore. I don't have the same, I'm not in a delusion anymore about this is a real relationship. And somehow I fucking sabotaged it. You're a mentally insane sadist. Not I sabotaged a perfect, pure love affair. Okay, like for real. So that shit doesn't work anymore. Like it sounds almost like a child would say to their mother, "You're gonna regret this." I am not your mother, and that shit didn't work on your mother either, because your mother didn't actually love you, and that's not my fault. There's a lot of people who are birthed by people that don't want anything to do with their child. That's why you go to psychotherapy, okay? And you don't stay stuck in a time warp where every person you meet is your fucking mother or your father, okay? That shit does not work on any adult. It didn't even work on your own parents. That's why you were put in DCF care, because your parents did not fucking care. They didn't care. They never wanted you in the first place. Okay? They never wanted you in the first place. And like I said from the beginning, it was completely wrong. They had any access to you after you. You should have been adopted out. You shouldn't have been put in foster care, because those people didn't want you either. You were a check to them. They get paid for fostering you, not their adoptive parents. You should have been adopted out, not put in a foster home. And then your fucked up family still had access to you. And it just and that person that the two of you are victims of child abuse by pedophiles that didn't want you. Okay? That's why you didn't keep living with them when you became an adult, because they're pedophiles. They're only interested in sex with children and watching children have sex. That's all they're interested in. That's why you age out and you end up on the street. Okay? Not they liked you and cared about you and they liked you more than their own daughter and moved you in, and they're pedophiles. You're not a child anymore. Okay? So, anyways, your parents never wanted you, okay? And you're almost 40 and you're still stuck in a time warp where now I'm your mother and you're going to hurt me by the shit you're doing when I can't possibly love you and have feelings for you anymore, okay? That's completely dysfunctional if I was to keep caring about you and loving you and da 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 when you revealed your true self. Like, you're a very, very mentally ill adult man that came into contact with the Blessed Virgin Mary, and I can't help you. Okay? I cannot help you. We don't have any reason to interact or talk anymore. Right? Seek out the community. You're not a human being. Seek out the community. See if you can find a bunch of primates to somehow help you. And I'm sure they will seem really upbeat and all of that and not be negative. Okay? Um, it, Obviously, they're going to talk to you in a way, and you probably prefer that, like you would talk to a completely mentally retarded person. That's how they're going to talk to you because you're so mentally ill that that's how they're going to talk to you. And you probably like that. They're all going to seem like caring, loving mothers and fathers and stuff. Um, in that you're completely incompetent and you constantly need help. You need help showering. You need help getting dressed. You need help being fed because you can't prepare food. You need help with scheduling your day. Okay? You would probably be happier doing that than drinking and drinking all the time, but right, it's just stone cold on honesty. You're never going to stop seeking out your mommy and your daddy and your brother that you made up loved you and cared about you, and they don't. Okay. I tried to explain it in 2023 that there's not a possible way those people care about you. They've never once invited us to go stay there. They wouldn't care if we froze to death on the ground. They don't come out and give us scarves and gloves and body warmers. They don't text us and ask us if we're okay. Okay. They don't care anything about you. They showed up at a hospital because they were probably told you were going to die. I don't know why they even showed up, to be honest with you. I really don't. But they do not care about you. After he walked away, I was doing that a little bit homeless, muttering to myself, setting up my bed and going, I actually have a family. I don't have to put up with this shit. I mean, I can't live with them, but I can stay there for a holiday and then go back to a warming center or a shelter. He doesn't have that. He's never going to have that. And he always still keep talking like it's a competition or something. It just everything that comes out of my mouth, I'm not allowed to actually have people that care about me. That is probably why he prefers just disgusting street people that are very negative and gross. Uh, the only reason they might seem positive is when they first meet you. He doesn't realize he doesn't form lasting friendships with people. And these people he's interacting with, you're the newbie. Hey, do you have a dick? Can I suck it? Can I stuff it up my asshole? Do you have a dick? Okay. Do you have a cigarette or a quarter? Or can you prostitute yourself to get me drugs and alcohol? They're all like that when you first meet them, Brian. You don't even know these fucking people. Okay. And then the next thing you know, you're punching them in the face like Martin. They're hitting you in the head with the hammer because they're fucked up just like you are. Not they care about you and they're more upbeat. That's why you people are called like vagrants and transients because you go to groups of strangers like that, where every interaction you lie and tell yourselves this is like a loving family when it's not. Right? Just people like that will generally throw shit in your face, like your sister thinks you're crazy, or like we are fucked up. And like when he said I was talking about Casey and stuff, he has no idea about people in real life, adult relationships, and that people have issues and they're dysfunctional and people get in fights, and he has no concept of that because he's never had an actual family, so he doesn't even know what is actually real and unreal. He's used to dealing with people that yes you to death because you're partying and getting high and they're all fucked up too. I've listened to them talk, oh yeah, 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 and then they'll tell you some story about some person in their family, da, da, da. Go, 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 go. They're mental cases. Right. And then they'll end up getting in a fight. He hung out with that Lulu chick for a day in 2023, and then all of a sudden she's getting mad at something too. Right. You people never have any lasting relationships. Everything is a hassle and da 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 da, and people are uptight, they're negative. The second that you would actually have a real conversation, have a real friendship with people. Right. So I myself kind of believe that love means never saying you're sorry. I really do. Love means never saying you're sorry. I really do believe that. I can understand sticking it out with people that aren't deranged like Brian, where you occasionally have these fights and then you work it out. Right. But I kind of don't want that. But like in general, someone like Brian, just all the shit you're doing is people that are sticking it out don't even do that. They don't. I was in a marriage for 17 years. I was with the guy for 20 years. I know, and we barely fought. But you stick it out and you work it out, right? When you say something fucked up to someone, that's what it is. He doesn't understand a wife. I'm not even like a girlfriend. It's like Summer or Sam. I don't know what a girlfriend is to him or a lover. I don't know what that is to him. People that you're sexually attracted to, I don't know what that is to him. It might have something to do with perverted masturbation, watching porn. That's what it sounds like. Him and her probably watched a lot of porn. Uh, they didn't have intercourse into ejaculation. He told me that she would never allow him to ejaculate inside of it because they're abuse victims. That's a common one. That's a common one. I know other abuse victims. It's not your business, but that's a common one when the female thinks it's gross when the guy ejaculates inside of her and it has nothing to do with birth control. That's not birth control anyway. Birth control is a condom, the pill, the shot, a diaphragm, tubal ligation. That's birth control. A vasectomy. Okay. So that is because she's been abused. That's why she doesn't like it. Not you were the first person to be fucking her. She's been abused, and so she doesn't like it. She's grossed out by it. Okay? She could be gay. She could be homosexual. You said she checked out females. When you stop being abused that young, like they were, you're all fucked up. You don't know. Okay. So he doesn't even, I don't know what that is to him, like a sexual person, but I think it's just weird porno and deviance and masturbation because the person doesn't actually have sex with you, be probably from abuse. Like a weird adult that cuddles with you and they're sort of like, semi getting off. And then apparently the dude gets up and runs to the bathroom and after purposely rubbing on you and shit until they're have a hard on and then they're still your father or your brother or your uncle or something or your foster father something. That's sex to Brian. Just from all the 2.5 years of knowing him, I've gone over a lot of it, but that's what sex is. It's always going to be like the transsexuals and the weird in the stairwell with two other people in a room with you and stuff from being abused and he admitted to watching porn on his phone when he masturbated in the public bathroom after getting rid of his wife. He gets rid of his wife that looks like this, by the way. He gets rid of his wife as he's about to go camping and he can have all the sex he wants and then he's watching porn on a phone and masturbating in a public bathroom, so you know that porn is all. And I tried to ask him what he was thinking about and he wouldn't tell me, right? Because clearly it's all fucked up. That's what happens with grooming. Yeah, that's people get really fucked up by child abuse. That's why they go to psychotherapy. Not they have this proud stance of I decided I was going to after my father died I was going to drink myself to death. Right? You just go because you realized your father never cared about you. You didn't want to have those memories of whoever was abusing you. You didn't want to grow up, so just burn out your brain matter. Well, good news, you burnt out your brain matter. All the nonsense about no, I can't smoke pot because of the brain injury. I just remember walking from Quincy Adams to Quincy Center. Yeah. All of a sudden, because it's the same shit, he does it on purpose. Because then we have a fight, and then he can take off. Because probably because we walked past the pot store. It's just disgusting when a person goes, "Oh, it smells like pot," like he just smelt a cheeseburger or a pussy. I'm just so glad to not be day to day having to be able to listen to it. So to me, those people are extremely low intelligence. Yeah, just I get tired of listening to it. It's difficult to explain, like a dog sniffing around other dogs' asses and stuff. Just it's the most disgusting smell to me. All those drug smells, just like, kind of like cigarette smoke is. I smoke cigarettes, but I know it smells disgusting, right? Just it's the most disgusting smell. The smell of the marijuana and the crack and all that stuff. You just go, oh my god! And they will go like, if you're one of those people, and I don't mean to insult you, I'm explaining myself to you so you know. Um, it's almost like witnessing a person walk into a bathroom where someone had severe diarrhea and didn't flush it, and going, "Oh my god, yeah, oh yeah, it smells loud in here. Yeah, like, it smells good in here." That's what it's like when you guys are doing that, because the smell is so disgusting to me. Yeah, I'm just being honest. Um, so it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Because it could be something's going on in your brain where you're not smelling the same smell I'm smelling. Yeah, like maybe your brain it registers a smell that I'm not smelling. Like, the smell of skunk is supposed to be a natural aversion to us, and you guys like it. So I think there's a little bit of something going on in the brain. I got to be honest. When you think that skunk smell smells good, so when you get mad, okay, why does skunk spray like that? Why does the spray smell so bad? Okay. So if you're at the point where you go and you like it, right, something's off. Something's off there. It's not even like when I was a kid, the marijuana smells different now. Okay. It's got to be loaded with other chemicals and drugs. It has to be, because it doesn't smell the same. I don't like the smell, but it's not as bothersome. Just old fashioned in the 1980s when people smoked a joint once in a while. It didn't smell like the stuff you guys are smelling. Yeah, it's not that stuff. I don't know what that is you're smoking, but and something's clearly going on with the brain where you think that's a pleasant smell. There you go. Thank you, God. Because right, if skunk smells bad as a natural defense to the skunk, and you think that smell is good, there has to be something wrong in the biology. Something's gone on. Oh, Steve doesn't smoke, by the way. When I was talking about Steve coughing, yeah, he doesn't smoke. He doesn't smoke drugs, and he doesn't smoke cigarettes. I don't even think he drinks. Yeah, that's why he wouldn't take off with Brian to Revere Beach in, what was it, April? No, June. Yeah, that's why he wouldn't take off with Brian to Revere Beach in like June. When Brian started mad texting him, uh, probably someone on Facebook, or someone's phone number he got, or his brother. Because I'm thinking, who could he be texting when he's in one of his episodes? Yeah, I'm grateful he doesn't text me anymore when he's doing it. Remember last time in June he was doing it to Steve, and then abruptly the text ended because that's when he got hit in the head with the hammer and was out of hospital. That's when I realized he doesn't actually care who he's texting. Yeah, that's when I realized it. So, yeah, unfortunately for his brother, I'm pretty sure he has his brother's number now. So his brother will probably end up having to block him, which I'm sure his family's done many times. Just, are you with Mary? Are you with your wife? And they might say something like, go to a hospital and then block them. Yeah, just Hopefully, so far, I don't think he knows their address. They're probably smart enough not to tell him their address, so he can't just show up there. Yeah. He's probably done it in the past, and he probably got picked up by the cops so many times that he's finally stopped doing it. 10:08. All right. I'm pretty much already packed up. So, yeah, I did my hair. I packed up everything. I just have to put my coat on and shit. I guess I'll go down there about the number 20 minutes. So I guess I'll shut this off for now.